I went on a tour with Florida Georgia Line. We can talk about that. That's wild. Morgan was the opener, and Dan and Shay.
I remember this. I remember this tour.
And Morgan walks on the bus, and I'm standing there, and he's like, it's right at the entrance of the bus, and he's like, "Are you Chris Tomlin?" I was like, "Yes, I am." And I was like, "Nice to meet you, man. Great music," because I was just now discovering him. Everybody was.
Yep.
I was like, "Great music." And he goes, "My daddy, he sent me a video of yours just last week called Is He Worthy?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Tears, man." And he just walked by. He walked on. That was my only encounter ever.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Hot episode of the podcast, dude. Honored to have the was it patriarchy or matriarchy? Which one's a man?
Patriarchy.
Yeah, the patriarchy of the Christian faith. Chris Tomlin is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Well, he just left. Honored to have him.
He has left the building.
He has left the building, and we still, the Holy Spirit's still here.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Three or more are gathered, so.
He left, but he left him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What an unbelievable conversation. So many funny stories.
What a legend, man.
What a legend, dude. I like he was talking about all those country artists that say when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was growing up. And you're like, but he still looks
Dude,
great.
He looks great. He's doing his thing. He's 18th album.
Yeah.
What?
I said that we'll save it for the end, but the question I asked him at the end. Oh, we should clip that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it. I'll leave it. Yeah.
He's the LeBron James of Christian music.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, in our era,
Mm-hmm.
there's like, oh, you didn't play when Jordan. Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah, he would have done fine in that era.
Yeah, he would have just fine, brother. Yeah. Oh, this week's episode, ladies and gentlemen, aptly brought to you by Glorify, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine creating a daily habit of peace and purpose, just like Chris Tomlin would want. In a few minutes each day, Glorify makes it easy with their 21-day challenge. Listen to this. Start small and watch your faith grow. Ladies and gentlemen, with Glorify, you can start your morning by reading the Bible passage of the day, driving into Glorify's daily devotional app, and wrapping up with an immersive experience called Daily Walk with God. Whether you're a committed Christian or simply curious about the faith, Glorify is something for you. Join over 20 million people who have downloaded the Glorify app and deepened their relationship with God. Visit, ladies and gentlemen, glorify-app.com/netpositive. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Glorify-app/netpositive right now. Download the Glorify app for free. Glorify-app.com/netpositive. Get on board, ladies and gentlemen. Enrich your life just like you would be by listening to this podcast. Honored to have them aboard. Big week, ladies and gentlemen. Big week. Just got back from a hot little run up in Charleston, and then I was in Macon and Hiawassee, Georgia.
Hiawassee.
I had a young kid come through the meet and greet. He said he listened to every podcast. Creston. Shout out Creston.
Creston,
dude.
what up, bro?
Creston, what up? I said, what's your name, dude? I got a shout. I'll give you a shout out on the pod. He came through. He's a big fan. I believe he brought his family.
Nice.
Yeah, his family didn't bring him. He said, we're going to the John Crist
He's a leader in that household, man.
Yeah.
Like
Shout out, Creston. Love to see it. Tour continues this week. Evansville, Dayton, and Peoria. Knoxville, Greenville, York, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Cleveland, Birmingham, 2 shows, Chattanooga, November, Boise, Spokane, Tacoma, 2 shows, Abilene, San Antonio, Tyler. We're trying to add a second show. We might just have to keep it at 1. I'm not sure. Secondary ticket market is probably going to be a lot of money, but no, you still might be able to get tickets on the website. Then Austin, Texas, 2 shows in Phoenix, Arizona, Santa Rosa, Redding, South Bend, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and just announced last week, Nashville, Tennessee, January 25th. Low ticket warning, brother. That show's going to be filled up.
Home game. I got to snag them in there.
That show's going to fill up. No, you don't got to snag them.
I'm going to take my parents.
I'm going to put you on the list, dude. I got you.
My parents don't know yet. It's
I'll
their
put you on the
anniversary
list.
weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to bring them in there, too.
The John Crist show?
Yeah, I'm going to take
Yeah,
them.
well, I got a lot of jokes now about relationships.
Perfect.
Fiance.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're an authoritative voice in the space now.
Well, yep. I'm writing a Christian book.
Start laughing at her when you're trying to tell the joke.
Yeah, mostly that. Big weekend for the country. The Ryder Cup. Did you watch that?
Easton did.
So
Easton
close,
watched
dude.
it?
I was sweating.
Wow.
Did we lose?
It was we lost
Barely,
by like
dude.
it was unbelievable.
Because it was looking bad up top.
Oh,
right?
dude,
Yeah, then we came back.
I've never like sweated more than Sunday morning. Yeah.
We came back, dude. Listen, this is what. Okay, I don't even know if I should say. We can decide to cut this later if we decide. Okay, we were watching the Ryder Cup, and Bryson DeChambeau. Okay, he's our in essence, at least Scotty Scheffler too, but he was kind of our leader, and he was like this. You got to realize golf. This story's getting to a point. Golf has like it's so you have to be so focused, and you're like I've seen him like do instructional videos like you bring the club back if it's a 64 degree, you bring it back till 6 o'clock, and then that's gonna make it go 65 yards. So and then he was like cheering, and we were watching in the bus, and we goes, guy's autistic. No, and listen, hear me out, okay? And then I go, yeah. I'm that with comedy, and what my point is, it is like there's everybody that is great.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
Everybody that's ever invented anything, anybody that made the iPhone, the light bulb, the airplane, the car, that you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like a disability, but it's like everybody that's great at anything has a little bit of that.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, it's been recently rebranded as
Yes.
autism, but I've always just called it like
Focus.
you're obsessed with what you
Or
do.
obsessed. Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
obsess over people who obsess about what they do like that. Because
Yes.
I just love that you can look at your craft
Bro,
and get into a zone
yeah.
with it where like you're an alien to other people who don't think like that.
I
love that.
I
stuff.
go into another world.
Yes.
Like when I say like inspiration
Yeah.
like visits me. You get a night, you go, he's gone. Dude, John is gone. And whatever in the present situation is happening bad, I'm like, I'm not even here.
your flow state. You're just going.
Dude, he gone, brother. And they're like everybody that's like it's been it's like unfortunately a lot of people that have it, or what I don't even know what you call it. This got to make sense to a lot of people that are listening, but you're like, yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
And he's great. And there's a lot of people doing unbelievable things with, like Elon Musk is that.
Yeah. He might also be genuinely autistic, but yeah. I
No,
think,
whatever. Like,
Yeah. But he definitely has that.
That's what they say. The spectrum.
Yeah.
So they were like, dude, what you mean?
Dude, the who's the Latino comedian, the guy who just dropped a Netflix special?
Ralph Barbosa?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw him on a clip the other day, and he was like, I want to write a book, basically just convincing people that they don't have autism
Yeah.
for this exact reason.
Yeah,
Just to be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, self-help. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You
Yes,
just really
thank you.
get obsessed
Yeah.
over things sometimes.
Yeah,
Like, it's
and you just
okay.
like, dude, the guy who made the mixture to for asphalt. That guy is obsessed. He's like, dude, that's a wild thing to be obsessed with.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, he's upset. What you mean? Bro?
Yeah.
Everybody, you're like, dude, everybody that's great at anything is like, dude, the guys that are like obsessed with their lawns are autistic.
It's a prereq. Like you have to be able to get
Yes.
into that mindset of like, no, I don't care about the fact that I haven't etten in 30 hours.
Yes.
I need to right now figure this out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like you like Bryson DeChambeau. You go whether you're whatever. If you go, I saw him play when he played golf with Trump. He was like talking about golf. Phil Mickelson. It's the same. Anybody that's good is talking about it in a way that they're like, I'm in a different world. Tom Brady has to be that.
For sure.
Michael Jordan has to be that. Anybody that like is good at podcasting, anybody that's good at anything.
Dennis Rodman with the rebound thing, where
He's obsessed
he
with
would
it.
stand under the basket and have somebody stand behind him and just throw the ball off the rim so he could see how it bounced.
That's autism, bro.
That's like that dude. That dude is keyed into something.
Yes, dude. Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing. It's like it's been rebranded as like, oh, I like it, and it.
I'm
it-
autistic.
and
Yeah,
it does
I guess.
cause problems.
It can.
For those people in all other areas of life. But I think if the person that has it, which is everybody, if they can find the avenue, they can line up the thing with the thing. It's game over.
Yeah, it's lightning in a
It is
bottle.
game over.
Yeah.
And I would argue to say that some people that you wish you had it.
Well, now you can.
Nah, well, yeah, you can take a
Bunch of Tylenol and you're good to go, bro. That's what they say.
Why do we always get here and Easton always does that? every
He's just
time?
waiting in the wings, like when you guys are done here, I'm gonna
I
slam
was
dunk
waiting
it.
for a
You ready?
time joke for a while now. They think the moment would ever come.
He's just coming down the key like this.
Put it, yeah. He's coming from the top rope.
Yeah.
I would like to hear feedback from people in the comments about that.
From
not
autists?
about if that it's like, dude, everybody that has it is killing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's autism.
That's the wrong word
I
for
just
it.
think it's being obsessive about things that
Yeah.
you really, really care about, and
Yeah.
if you can find that thing, man.
And I'm like a little bit like, sometimes I leave my house and then I'll circle back around to see if I close my garage door.
Well, that might be it.
That's OCD.
But that's you said
That's not-
what'd you say? Obsessive.
Yeah.
You're like, well, that's when it becomes.
Oh, now it's a problem, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like you have
Sure.
to wash your hands 37 times after.
OCD.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Luke Combs has talked a little bit about that. But
Okay.
you're like, we can't say everything is a disability
Yeah,
because these are like superpowers.
when put in the right position. For
Yeah,
sure.
does that make sense? Or
Yes,
no?
no, I think it definitely does.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week's episode brought to you by Mando. Mando, ladies and gentlemen. What an unbelievable. Get yourself Mando'd up, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of, I bet the CEO of this, I shouldn't say that about him, or him or her, whoever.
It's
made
a
it.
her, I believe.
Yeah. She's like, I want to see if I can make the best deodorant on planet Earth.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Yes.
I don't have that. Mine's directed in a different way.
And I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. I think she did this for female products first, and now Mando is her second go at it. She
interesting.
couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
Like she was that obsessed.
Let me
with
keep-
it.
I
She
already-
was like, let me do this for the guys too.
Yeah, I got this
y'all.
one.
Yeah.
I got you.
Mando for the boys. We got you. Here we go.
That's what it is.
Yep.
I got it dialed in. I take it on the road with me.
Yeah, bro.
In the they got the whole body deodorant, ladies and gentlemen, safe to use anywhere on your body, created by a doctor. That's who you're talking about, who first saw firsthand how normal body odor was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. Clinically proven to block odor all day and control your odor up to 72 hours. And I need it on the road sometimes because a shower sometimes is not readily available.
Sure.
Are you gonna shower? I got to go get the thing. Hold on. How are we gonna? All Mando products, ladies and gentlemen, baking soda free and paraben free. Choose from a variety of fresh scents like bourbon leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. You know they made it for the fellas. Mando, clinically proven to control odor. Better than a shower. Better. Let me start that sentence.
Tough
totally
line.
over.
This is a tough line.
Mando is
Autistic, John?
clinically proven. Wow, he was waiting for that, dude. But Mando's clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. Oh, okay, all right.
Nailed it.
Come on,
Nailed
that was
it.
written weird.
Nailed it. Yep.
That was written weird.
It's the same every week.
Want to try America's number? Dang it, dude! Want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant formula right now? You can find them at Walmart, Target, other retailers across the country for the best deals. Go to shopmando.com. Mando starter pack, perfect for new customers. Comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash, deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Special offer for the listeners. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code NETPOSITIVE at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Or hit the link in the episode description. Support the show. Tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence head to toe with Mando. This week's episode also brought to you by Mosh. Ladies and gentlemen, the old adage, you are what you eat, rings very true to all of us in the modern day, and I'm always looking for an on-the-go protein snack that satisfies me, but now I've found one that helps me live intentionally. Mosh bars, ladies and gentlemen, you may have heard about it on Shark Tank. Mosh joins forces with the world's top scientists and functional nutritionists to go beyond your average protein bar with 8 delicious flavors, including plant-based one, peanut butter, chocolate. Each Mosh bar is made with ingredients that support brain health, like ashwagandha, lion's mane, collagen, and omega-3s. Every time we head out on the tour bus on the weekend, I make sure we stacked up with Mosh bars. Unbelievable situation they got going over there. Get yourself protein snack, ladies and gentlemen. Mosh bar is where you're going to want to find it. If you want to find ways to give back to others and fuel your body and your brain, Mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to .com/net positive and save over 20% on free plus. Sorry, 20% plus. Save 20% off plus free shipping on the Bestsellers trial pack. That's over 20% off plus free shipping. Nailed it. Thank you. On Bestsellers trial pack. That's MOSHLIFE.com/net positive. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode. Yeah, dude, you want to get to the episode?
Throw it, man.
Man, it was unbelievable to have Chris in here.
He's the greatest.
Okay, somebody, you remember he told that story about writing a letter
Yeah.
to Thomas Rhett?
Yeah.
Somebody gave me his cell phone number a while back.
Chris Tomlin?
Yeah, and they were like, Chris wants to come on the pod. I was like, are you sure? I go, Chris Tomlin wants to come on the pod. He goes, yeah. I go, all right, I'll text him. But it's one of those things, it's like, you're asking a girl out, like, no, she likes you. Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm not asking this girl to prom unless you heard at gym class she wants to go.
Yeah, don't make me look silly here when I reach out.
Yeah, don't make me
ask.
reach out. Hey, Chris, podcast. He was like, yeah, dude, let's make it happen. And I was like,
dude.
wow, dude, honor to have him.
That's one of my favorite guests.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah, Dave last week. What did somebody say in the comments?
They said we're collecting Christian Avenger stones right now or something like that. Yeah.
Great
I'm getting
comment.
cooked in that comment section. Thanks.
What'd you do?
Why?
I commented something as a joke.
Oh, Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, I said like
Yeah,
I said
he
the guy. I said the
he said,
guy
What
who.
about the parlays or something?
No, I said the guy who bet 800K could have won 800 million. You just gotta choose your picks wisely. And everyone's like in the comments praying for me and stuff.
Pray for Easton.
I had to re-comment. I was like, guys, it's just a joke.
Oh yeah.
please."
Okay, because I see him come through my feed. Whatever you say.
Yeah, no, they're not happy with you.
Because I collabed on it, and you said,
a lot of
guys,
husbands are mad too.
I was
they're
like-
calling him out by name, tagging him like, "This is you." And I'm like, guys, it's a joke. Please.
The net positive wives are all
Yeah,
over
yeah.
Easton right now,
Wives,
being
I'm-
like, "No, you're a bad influence on my husband.
it's
Stop
just not
it."
helping it. Yeah, I used to let him listen to the podcast. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Well, enjoy this episode. Chris Tomlin, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. Huge episode for us today. Chris Tomlin is here, ladies and gentlemen.
man.
Chris Tomlin is here. And you can clap for yourself,
We're
dude.
here.
Did you? Hey, don't show Easton this. And I don't know if you know this.
Okay.
So go back up to that first bullet there. Okay. Don't read it. Don't read it. Don't read it. Don't look at it. Okay. So I was looking on chat, and it said he's one of only 4 artists across all genres, by the way, to receive Sound Exchange Digital Radio Awards, surpassing 1 billion digital radio streams. So one of 4, Easton. Everybody. Who do you think the other 3 are? Do you know?
I do.
You know?
I do. It'd be quite a tour.
Yeah.
These four.
Let me think. I don't know. Who would you think, Easton?
On radio,
Yeah. All time.
Taylor Swift, maybe.
Nope, not radio.
Radio, I'll go. What do I hear on the radio? Maybe like a Pitbull type of guy.
Yeah, well, yes, Pitbull's one of them. Isn't it?
What about-
Yeah, Pitbull.
All right, what about Drake?
That would be a wild tour. Pitbull,
You said Drake?
Garth,
Garth.
No Drake.
and Justin Timberlake.
Wow.
Dang, man, that is a tour.
So
Yeah.
I just think
That's
that stat is so funny to me because I'm sure by now there's more, 5 or 6, who knows what it's been. But at the time I was the 4th to receive that, and I was just thinking people who read that stat, they'd be thinking Garth Brooks, yeah, Chris, Justin Timberlake, yeah,
Yeah.
Pitbull, yeah,
Yeah.
don't know him.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the next guy? Don't know who that is.
Who's the other guy? Yeah. They go, when the homeschoolers go to, what all the presidents on the rock,
Mount Rushmore.
Rushmore.
and they go, who's that, the 4th guy?
Yeah.
It's Chris Tomlin.
It's Chris Tomlin.
Now, when you got that award, were the other 3 guys there?
They gave it to me. Yeah, they just wanted to be there. It was
They come to
really,
your house.
it was
They go,
really
hey,
Put the
sweet.
jacket on him.
It's really sweet.
like winning the Masters, dude.
It's really sweet of them.
Well, I saw because I think we talked about this before on the pod. And this is Time Magazine, the most sung artist on earth. Have you heard that one?
Well, I was in the interview when they.
Oh, you said it.
No. I remember when I was asked to do this interview for Time Magazine, and they wanted this article on, and they were just trying to figure me out, and it was interesting. I was in New
like
York.
that.
I was in New York, and they flew me up to New York and sit there. I'll never forget. I was sent to this hotel talking to this guy, and he's like, "Man, it just seems that your music is sung because of the church around the world is probably sung more than anybody else's on the earth." And I'm like, I was like, I don't know about that. And then they wrote the article, and
Oh yeah,
this is really
and ChatGPT said, "Hey,
yeah,
we don't check facts."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you would have to think if the most recognizable voice on earth, it can't be prior to Spotify.
right.
Because that one's it can't, so it can't be like Michael Jackson. It can't be
Right.
someone prior to the current era.
Yeah.
So it has to be post
Well, I just think
2000s, and then it has to be worldwide.
I think it speaks to just the church. That
Yeah.
people don't talk about that, because you have all these genres of music, but the church is everywhere. There's dirt on the earth,
Yeah.
right? There's a church that meets,
Yeah.
and sings these songs, and just happen to have a couple songs that
One or two
that they
Yeah.
sing around the world, and so I think that's maybe what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's
nobody-
incredible privilege.
Yeah, I wonder if you ever sometimes I'd be like people repost my clips and I'm like, yeah, I'm this, but I'm not that. Like, do you ever have like a church where you're like, I don't know if you ever like, how who would like somebody would be like, we don't want our music played at the Trump rally, like Green Day or whatever.
Oh,
do you ever
yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you guys are like not there's no way to
Like,
check
is he
that probably.
gatekeeping his own music? Is that what
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah. You know how Green Day was like, we don't want our song, but I was like, well, that's not how Spotify works. Number one,
Yeah,
you can't
exactly.
do that. Yeah, but sometimes getting off the beaten path, you don't know what's,
I don't know what is out there. I don't know who's playing my songs, but hey,
you don't know. Yeah, I guess there's no way to control it.
no way.
Yeah, because they churches email me or us and go, hey, can we play your video?
Yeah.
Prior to our sermon series on dating or whatever it is. I guess I don't check.
You don't check. Like,
So-
what are they teaching?
How would you? It'd be
Right.
impossible.
yeah. No way. Yeah.
Now, would you ever, I always wanted to ask you this because do you ever go to like a conference or something and you like line it up?
What do you mean?
Like if you were playing at like, so there's some Christian conferences or some stuff where you're like, hey, are we aligned with them?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of times where I'm just like, it's probably too late. I've gotten there, I was like, ooh, I'm not so sure what's happening right now. And up next, Chris Tomlin.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I got, and then, yeah.
Yeah,
I usually looking around at your age and you go, who did y'all double check this one?
How'd they get here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like the Andy Stanley, Louis Giglio, you're like, this is our,
Yeah,
if they ask you to do anything, me too. They go, yeah, Chick-fil-A.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
whatever. What do y'all need? Then it's kind of off there's some of those like, not going to say, the ones that are like kind of like mixed with like business seminars, and then they're like kind of Christian, and then there's like a lot of, you're not really quite sure what's going on.
Right.
But do you remember when we, the first event we ever played together? There's no way you're gonna know this.
No.
Well, you should guess. At least he goes.
First event we ever
no
played
shot.
together.
Me and you were at Disneyland Night of Joy.
Really?
Yeah, dude, this had to have been
Those were amazing.
awesome. 2016, maybe something like this. 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
You
a
were-
Good Father was hot.
Was that in the pouring rain? Was that? that
No,
year?
it was. I think, and it was inside. It wasn't at the baseball field. It had moved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. Yeah.
That was our. Okay. Wow.
He's flexing because he's done that so many times.
Yeah, I did it once.
He's
Yeah.
like, I did it outside, inside, rain, shine. Like,
Now
which one was
Disneyland or Disney World or Tokyo Disney? I go, I don't know. I was only at one. I was only at one.
Which Disney, John?
Well, we were. I sent it over the notes that we were at. I was with you. I wasn't on the stage with you, but I was attending at Bristol.
Yes.
The Easter service.
Easter service. Speaking of
Yes,
finding
it's like
yourself,
a wild one.
speaking of finding yourself, like how in the
Bristol,
world?
the NASCAR race. So
How
they
they
have
here?
it. They used to never have Easter race.
Yeah.
So they were like, obviously we need to make money, and this is Sunday. Let's have a race. So they go, well, let's have a church.
Oh, it's an Easter Sunday. Yeah.
So all the drivers and their wives, and they'd be like, well, we're going to church. And then they brought in the heavy
It's
hitters.
Easter Sunday, man.
Yeah.
And then I got to do the flight, start the race.
Oh,
with the
yeah, dude. You
flag,
did the green
bro.
flag?
Yes.
Waving the flag is
That
the
was
best.
intense.
Yeah.
That was intense.
That's a lot of pressure.
But yeah, you never know where you're going to find yourself, and never knew I'd be with all in NASCAR.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's so cool.
Well, I think I made a joke that day because they go. I remember them going to the crowd. They do like a crowd shot, and I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but he sang Amazing Grace.
I did, yeah.
Okay, and they went to the crowd, and the people didn't know it. And I was like, hey, that's not a good sign, dude. I go, this is our main one.
This is Amazing Grace. This is the top.
This is our number one.
This is our biggest.
Yeah.
We don't have anything else after this.
Yeah, you can't.
If Amazing Grace fails, you got nowhere to go. You have no other place to turn to.
That's like walking around like a NASCAR and you're like, you don't know who Dale Earnhardt is? You're like, that's our main guy.
Because that's true. Like if it's all going bad in a concert, you pull out Amazing Grace and you get everybody back.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's back.
Yeah.
Okay, we're with you.
Yeah.
But when they don't know Amazing Grace, that's a tough one.
Do you guys get that way? Have you ever been
That's
on
perfect.
stage where you're like, we're losing them? They're just not with us. It's time, guys. It's Amazing Grace time.
100%. Absolutely. I mean, it happens a lot.
Hey, in comedy is the same. We lose. I got to go on the old hits from like
Yeah,
three
yeah.
specials.
Oh, yeah.
This will get 'em back.
I'll get them back. And then we can go somewhere. Yeah.
Well, it is funny because it is like it is such a like probably the best. I've talked about this in here in the pod before. So we've had Michael W. Smith has been in here, Crowder and Jen Johnson have all come through, and I go, what we went to a Coldplay concert at Nissan like 3 weeks ago, and we were like, it's like a very fine line because you do feel parts of like a worship service. I don't know if that makes sense.
With Coldplay.
Yes.
100%.
You were like, lights will guide you home. Like, I need
it's
to be
insane.
fixed. Like, we're all 80,000 people in here.
It's incredible.
And you do feel and I think all growing up, it was Hillsong and it was all your shows. And now you're like, well, this is kind of confusing.
Well, yeah, I can tell you a little bit, speak into that a little bit because Chris Martin, the day before, met with I think the Grammy organization put together with some producers and artists, and he had a small group. I wasn't in it, and I'm not cool enough, but Pitbull and Garth and Justin were.
Yeah.
And so, but
Armando is his name.
Yeah, I wasn't in it, but I was in that group. But one of my guys who produces my music with me, he was there, and he texted me, and they said the first question they asked Chris was, "Where does your inspiration come from?" And for music, and he said the hymns. And he said it was in the church, growing up in the church, because I always loved the way they made me feel. And he said, I want people to feel that through my music. And in fact, and we're going deep dive now. The last song on my new record I recorded is the hymn, This Is My Father's World. And check this out. The opening line of This Is My Father's World is one of the great hymns of the faith. This is my Father's world. And to my listening ears, all nature sings, and round me rings the music of the spheres. Chris, I was like, Chris, you little dog.
You little dog.
Grabbing from the hymns.
Yeah, I
no one even know it.
Yeah,
Music
yeah.
of the spheres comes
Yeah.
from 1880 something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think there would be a lot of you're like, he's like, I want to make the feeling of the hymns, and you're like, well, yeah, it's kind of from God. That's kind of the thing you're missing here. But other than that, yeah. You can sample a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a very it is similar to like seeing a great work of architecture or reading. It is a mirror of the image of God.
Yes.
Or people being in community enjoying art. It's from the gifts are from God. So I think it's missing the main piece, but you do feel parts of it.
Sure it is. But you feel that it's there. It's in there.
Yeah, I was like, my fiance was laughing because I was crying. She's like, "Why are you laughing?"
Because I was too.
Yeah, I was crying, but she goes, "What are you crying?" I go, "I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just moved.
Yeah.
By this moment.
Yeah, it's incredible, man.
How has that like evolved for you through your career?
Like what do you mean?
Just how you feel music and where you feel music. Like you were talking about, you'll feel that at a Coldplay concert.
Yes.
Have you always been able to kind of pull that from places, or?
Well, for me, it's just I've always wanted people to connect with God, and in my songs, and try to point them to the greater. I always say that if my music can point people to the kind of a greater story that's going on, like this, that's why I think worship is so incredible. That's why the music of worship is so different than any other music. And I don't say I'm not saying it's better or anything like that, but it's different. It should be different because your soul is singing to a living God, if that makes sense. This is like a connection, an eternal connection that's happening. And so that's different than singing with the radio. That's different than just singing with a group of people. But when you get to that place, you're like, wow, I really think something inside of me is connecting to something way greater. That's pointing people to worship God. And so I've always tried to grow in that, get better at that, and that's my mission when I walk on that stage. And my one thing is to hopefully help all this collective of people to have an encounter with God.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think it's the unique experience because you do feel like look at a lot of the country artists that are great. Like you look at Morgan, it is greater than, it's not Christian, but it is greater than him. You know, you feel like 100%. Maybe he's been canceled, or he removes his songs from the Grammys. It's like maybe a Hollywood versus Zach Bryan at the same thing, or even Kenny Chesney. Yeah, where it's like this toes in the sand. We're all out. It is something a little bit greater than just an exchange of chords. Yeah, but when I think you involve the Christian aspect of it, it is like amongst all generations, everybody, and you're like, this is
Speaking of Morgan, do you know him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I don't know him, but I had one encounter, and I was on the tour bus. I went on a tour with Florida Georgia Line. We can talk about that. That's wild.
Which side are you on? I'm just joking.
Exactly. No, just joking. This is that's fine. That'll be fun. Florida Georgia, but that was their last tour, and Morgan was the opener, and Dan and Shay.
I remember this. I remember this tour.
I mean, that's insane.
That's a wild lineup.
Think about those openers. Dan and Shay and Morgan. And Morgan walks on the bus, and I'm standing there, and he's like, it's right at the entrance of the bus, and he's like, "Are you Chris Tomlin?" I was like, "Yes, I am." And I was like, "Nice to meet you, man. Great music," because I was just now discovering him. Everybody was. I was like, "Great music." And he goes, "My daddy, he sent me a video of yours just last week called Is He Worthy?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Tears, man." And he just walked by. He walked on. That was my only encounter ever.
That's it.
And I never saw him again. He
disappeared into the mist.
He did. He just like walked. He goes, "Tears, man."
Yeah.
What a legend.
Spits a dip cup, and then like no one else was there to witness it, and you're like, "Was it Morgan?" And you're like, "He wasn't here." Like, wait, he wasn't here? I'm pretty sure.
It was.
That's amazing.
It was so
he's
good.
gone, dude. That's great. That's like I think the funny thing about it, because Morgan grew up in church,
right,
and I have a joke about this in my show, but a lot of people are like, they kind of looking for clues as if to see if that person is on the team.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like if you go, I think Thomas Rhett is a believer. I know him. I do know him. Not he is, but you go, this guy, Republicans and Democrats like to do that too, because people like to, and you go, I think that guy. And we like to do it. My mother, the joke in my show is my mother likes to watch the reality TV shows, and she Googles who's Christian. She goes, "We're cheering for Samantha." like why? She has a Jesus fish on her car. I'm like, all right, but we're always looking for that. Like you go, I don't know, dude. I'm pretty sure that guy's, or even if he's gone a little bit wayward, you're like, no,
I know it's
that
in
guy's
there.
a Christian.
It's in there.
Yeah.
It's in there.
He's in there. He's on the team. Yeah. I was going to ask you about how there is a lot of, I guess people are trying in this subculture that we are in. People are trying to look to people to follow, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you got guys. Obviously, as long as we've been around, moral failures of this and that, and maybe not even moral failures, but sometimes going theologically in a direction where, and everybody's trying to piece together. And if K-Love kind of goes, we're with him, then you go, I guess we're with him. And then you look at his Instagram, you're like, this doesn't seem like it's on the team. Does that make sense? That question makes sense? There's a lot of people, and where everybody's trying to follow, oh, this guy's doing Christian music, but now he's switching over, and there's a lot of unsurety. How do you gauge that and listening to someone's music?
Yeah,
does that question make sense?
I'm not sure it makes sense.
Well, we got
I'll ask it this way.
Let's break it down.
Yeah, I'll ask it this way. Like you go, oh, this guy seems like this guy's a follower of Jesus. Whatever, from this music.
Yeah,
I feel the Spirit.
Yeah,
when I listen to this music, then some person would get in a fight with somebody on Instagram, or they were posting something. You're like, well, this doesn't.
Yeah. I think social media is just the worst thing ever happened, because because it kind of brings the true thing out in
good or bad,
and kind of truth it kind of comes out, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to exactly know from social media, right? How to judge somebody these days, because it's just all over the place, and you're only getting a certain kind of thing.
Yeah.
But but the music. It's interesting days. I think and especially when it comes to faith.
What'd you say?
It's interesting days.
Oh, interesting days. Okay.
When it comes to faith and being someone who's trying to hopefully whatever platform you've been given to use that platform in the best way you can.
But I guess in the 80s, somebody could be. Like, I guess if you read the Amazing Grace, you're like, oh, I didn't know that guy that wrote it, but this seems like it is carrying the weight of something greater. Mm-hmm. And that's again, before the 90s, we didn't know any of these people. Right. We didn't know they could have been alcoholics. They could have been cheating on their wives. We had no idea.
You totally know.
We had no idea.
Yeah, but that's God's grace, right? That he can take some just complete craziness and of all of our failures and do something amazing with it, Yeah. I mean, you speak of Amazing Grace. I mean, John Newton wrote that song, and he was a slave trader and horrible person. And he would have said, obviously God saved him. He turned his life around. And that was the poem he wrote, which is incredible. Never thinking it would be a song. And it becomes probably, I would say Happy Birthday and Amazing Grace, the two most popular songs in the world. But
when he wrote that, he never thought that Chris Tomlin would be singing it at Bristol all these years later. And he's like, I have a plan for this song.
There's going to be a thing called NASCAR.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you about this. Is there, what is to be said, and you included, by the way, what is to be said about a lot of these worship leaders? Very attractive. Very attractive. You talk about all the guys with number ones are Phil Wickham. You.
I'm not in these. I'm not in
Corey.
I'm not in this league. Yeah.
Brandon Lake. These guys.
John Crist. Let's talk about the comedians out there.
Very attractive.
I mean, beautiful comedians. Yeah. Let's talk about these guys.
No, a comedian actually needs to look like not good.
You can't get too cool.
Yeah, we need to look like the everyman. Like the artists and the athletes, they need to look like, they're above. A comedian's got to look regular. Like when you go on stage, you can't wear something too flashy. You're probably the same in the faith.
100%.
Yeah.
Can you imagine me just like a little
AC/DC or like this?
Yeah. Just anything that's got some bling on it. That's just not me, man. No.
You can't wear a Rolex.
I'd like to see you push the limit a little bit, though. That'd be fun.
What's that?
I'd like to see you push the limit a little bit, wardrobe wise.
You wear a Rolex.
Find the line,
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it.
Well, there's all with it.
No, absolutely not. No.
What do you think? I've often found myself in defense of CCM and Christian music when, have you ever seen all that controversy about Elevation, it's cost $600 to attend this concert? I'm like, well, yeah,
I mean,
They got to rent the arena.
It's crazy too.
I go, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's supply and demand. If a bunch of people buying one in the secondary market,
It's crazy, man. That's a whole thing. Thanks for speaking up on that. But yeah, and most
I feel like I've defended it many
and most
times.
and you know how this works, and what people don't know is most of those ticket prices aren't what Elevation's charging.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
It's just whatever they take.
It's not going to any of us.
No, it goes to resale.
Yeah.
It's resale. It's going to the person who bought the ticket for $85, and now they're selling it for $400. And that's the way it works. It's crazy. And then you get blamed or whatever. But it's a crazy thing out there in that world. And we try. I mean, we do our very, very best to keep it as like I want everybody in the world to get in that place.
And listen, I know a little bit about how much it costs to rent Bridgestone Arena. It's very expensive.
Very, very expensive.
And you can go to Elevation for free on Sunday if you want. Mm-hmm. That's all. I think once they start charging for that, then we might have an
Sunday
issue.
morning cover charge?
Yeah, then we might have an issue.
Pay for parking out front,
That's
too.
true. That's true.
Have you ever...
$5 for communion.
$5 for... Yeah, they'll bring it to you. They'll deliver it.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a rite and like, everyone's very Christian and everybody's uplifting. You ever been like, guys, this is a bad song? Like you're in the middle, you know what I'm saying? You're in the middle of a thing and you go, like if you write hits, there has to be some that don't make it.
There's lots. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
There's way more that don't make it. Way more.
But are you the guy that says, or you just kind of let it play out in the right sessions?
I let it play out. That's my personality. I just let it play out.
He's like, guys, this is terrible.
I'm knowing there's no chance. This song has no chance to see the light of day.
This will save no one.
This will save nobody. That's hilarious.
I might recant my faith after hearing
No
this
one's
one.
coming forward for this one. No one's coming to the front.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, because we've had a bunch of artists in here. Sometimes they go, guys, let's go in a new direction.
Let's go in a new direction. Yeah.
You never do that.
No. I was like, that's awesome, guys. This is great.
You just gas it up.
I just love this. This is amazing. It's the best thing I've ever heard.
That's an interesting way to do it. Yeah, and
best thing I ever heard.
when you're inside.
Yeah, it's like I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. But honestly, and I mean this truly. I mean, most of the time, it's there's never anything that's like, oh, that's bad. But it's crazy. Like things that I thought, oh, I'm not sure how this is gonna go. This is not great, and you just keep going and keep going. And all of a sudden, something comes from it. Something comes from it that turns into something else. Usually for me in the songs. But yeah, there's a lot of times where just in the kind of room going,
And do you know any of the guys, the big guys that'll go, this is bad? Or does everybody in Christian music just kind of?
I haven't been in a room with too many people that's like, this is bad. I haven't too many, and when I was writing with, it's funny when I was doing some of the country stuff, when I did the Chris Tomlin and Friends stuff, when I was writing with Thomas Rhett and Tyler Hubbard and those guys in the country thing. And that was so fun because it was a whole new world for me, stepping into that. And it was different. It was so fast. It was like an idea would come, what about this? No. What about this? No, don't like that.
Really?
Yeah. It was like boom, boom, boom. Oh, they'd be just throwing out ideas, and they're so quick to like, no, no, I'm not into that.
Why do you think that's so different over there?
I don't know. I don't know. I think different. That's a good question. Yeah, it's a good question.
I wonder if
it's personalities, I guess, personality-wise, and it's a little bit different approach. I think a little bit different approach to a song than writing a country song versus writing a worship song. It's a song of worship is a completely different approach.
It's probably hard to say no to an idea when somebody's like, God put this on my heart.
Yeah.
Well, God told
those
me.
are the worst. No, thankfully, I don't have any friends who are like, "Hey, God gave me this idea." Because what do you say? You're like, I mean, it's like, okay, well,
right,
I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, let's keep it for your ears too, just for yours. Yeah.
God, I wonder if there's any. Do you ever wonder if there's any? If you're writing a country song and you come in there, the guys maybe like, put down the drinks. They're like, "Hey, Chris Tomlin, hey guys, we're not smoking. Chris Tomlin's in here."
No, they don't.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. They're like, "Hey, we writing? Everybody's drinking. All right, let's write a Christian one, guys. We got to clean this up.
They don't.
Get the Zin pouches out of here. We're writing with Chris Tomlin.
No, yeah, no,
Everybody's got their own journey.
yeah, that's right.
Well, it is. I wonder what's you see a lot of the Christian artists, especially here in Nashville, making country music.
Yeah.
And a lot of the country artists you also see making Christian music.
Yeah. Well, it's just so interesting because it's so much. It's so close in the sense of most of both sides have come up in the same place, in the church, and coming from that place, there's
Good way to say it.
There's a real common thing there, and most music, right, comes from the church. Yeah. Let's just be honest. Most every artist comes from that. Most of them.
Yeah.
Not
That's
all
where
of them.
it started. That's where you started. Yeah.
But for me, it was the craziest thing, and I'll tell that story real quick because I wasn't looking for it. When I did the Chris Tomlin and Friends album, I wasn't even honest to God, as honest as I can be. I was not trying to do that. It was not a part of the plan. This would be a great idea if I connect with all these country artists. I started this thing called Good Friday in Nashville at Bridgestone. And the first person I wanted to do it with me, I wanted to have a surprise guest every time. It's a country artist. It would be really cool. That's of faith. That'd be a surprise for people. People like, oh, I didn't know he was on our team.
He's on the team.
That kind of moment.
Yeah.
It's like bring it out that people wouldn't see coming. And so I wrote this letter to Thomas Threat's manager. Did not know Thomas Threat, but had clues that he was on the team.
Yeah.
And
it's hilarious.
And I wrote to the manager and said, I'm doing this thing. Would Thomas do a song with me? No response. Completely ghosted. Zero. Dang. And so I get on stage that for sound check that day for Good Friday, and I walk off stage. It's on Good Friday on the day. I'm at Bridgestone. I walk off stage after sound check, and my road manager grabs me and says, "Hey, Thomas Threat wants to talk to you. He's backstage." And I'm just like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I walk back there, and he goes, "Man, I heard your voice over the PA, and I was rehearsing over at the Annex, and I just wanted to come and tell you, how much your music has meant to me for so long, and it's just I've always loved your songs." And I was like, "Bro, I tried to get you to play this night with me. I wrote you a letter." He goes, "You did?" And I was like, "Yes." It's one of those things, a good manager keeps it away,
Yeah.
And so I was like, he goes, "No way." And he goes, "Well, we should write some songs together." I was like, "Yeah." Oh. So the next day he sends me Be a Light, which I did with him and Keith and Reba and all the things. And then the next week I'm down at 30A. Yeah. 30A. And I was on vacation with my family. The tour had ended.
You got to be Christian to go there.
You got to be.
Yeah, that's part of it.
You got to be. And I'm in the gym working out, do a little workout. There's only one other person in there. And it's Tyler Hubbard. And
might have been God.
And I was like, okay. So I was like,
God told me.
Yeah. So I just walked up and I said, "Hey man, I'm Chris Tomlin." He's like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, and he said, "You're Chris?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh man." He goes, "This is so great running into you." He goes, I wanted to be with you when I was in the 8th grade. And I was like, "Oh, fantastic." And he's like, and I was sitting there, he said, "Man, no, really." He goes, "I led worship in my youth group." And then he goes, "I can tell you, this is all in 30 seconds of meeting him." This is just, he goes, "And I can tell you exactly where I was standing at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville at this conference called Passion." I was a college student, and I was in there, and I was standing there, and you were up there playing. I thought, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And he goes, and then I get to Belmont and start doing this Bible study and with this guy named BK, and we started doing this thing at Belmont, and we're leading worship on Wednesday nights, and we're also writing country songs, and the country thing obviously blew up, and that's been a thing." And he goes, "Man, the fame and all the things, I've just swerved all around with my faith, but God's brought me back to this unbelievable place. I feel like so close." And he goes, "And I walk in here, and you're staying here. I know God's speaking to me, and I think we're supposed to write some songs." And I'm just like, this isn't 1 week. Last week was Thomas. This week, I was like, what's going on? Wow. And I didn't think I would hear from him again. And we exchanged numbers. It was one of those, maybe this is a nice moment. Yep. The next morning, he's like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" I was like, "Well, with my kids." He's like, let's go. And so we just said, let's smash this thing up and write some songs. And so that was an amazing moment in season in my life in music that I didn't see coming. So we just kind of wrote all these songs and made demos of them, and then thought we should put this out in some way. And then you can imagine the nightmare that was for record labels. Like, y'all already know what?
Or who's featuring who?
Who's featuring who? And who owns this? And it was a nightmare.
Y'all figure it out.
Yeah. So anyway, that was really fun. But I just say all that to say it was not a managers got together or labels got together and go, "You know what would be really cool? You know what would really be like hip. It was just, I really
Just kinda
feel
happened.
God just put it
Yeah.
together, and like I wasn't looking for it.
That's a beautiful
so
story.
cool.
That's an unbelievable
How
story.
weird is that for you to be in a position where an established artist like him will come up to you and speak to you that way?
I could not believe it. And what I didn't, he said, and coming back to the first conversation, he goes, I'll never forget this. Tyler says, there's two people, I tell people all the time, two influences in my life in music, Garth Brooks and Chris Tomlin. And I was like, what? I mean, I just could not believe that. I was like, what are you talking about? I would not have dreamed that, because for me, Florida Georgia Line was the party, the party band. I mean, it's like I wouldn't even think he would know who I was. That's why I went up and say, hey, I'm Chris Tomlin.
Yeah.
I'm a musician. And he's like, oh, I know. And
Wow.
so it was really
A
cool.
cruise.
That's crazy.
You kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, are you credited there?
it's
or-
not saying
sounds like you
you
should
don't
be.
say you're not credited there. Yeah.
It sounds like credit.
We've done some writing things recently.
he's been in there.
I'm
Tyler's
sorry,
been
we've
in
done
there.
some like songwriting rounds, or you'll do like for a charity or something, and since we become friends, and it's hilarious. We'll go from cruise to how great is our God. It's quite a set change.
You don't know what to do. You don't know what to. You don't know who to lift.
We call
your
it
hands
Saturday
to.
night. We
Yeah.
call it Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's go Saturday
Sunday
night. We'll go Saturday night and Tyler.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
That's really good, yeah.
We'll go back to Sunday morning. It was
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, if you had if you had a collab with like Big X the Plug, I would be like, that seems like a stretch. Or like, I don't know. He's doing a lot of country collabs.
Yeah.
You're like, well, Chris Thomas Rhett,
that makes sense.
Chris Tomlin collab. You go, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But back then when I was writing that letter trying to get to, I didn't
That's
know.
probably why he didn't respond, because it was a letter.
Yeah. I mean, it was an email.
I think he said you wrote him a letter. Well, no wonder
No one gets a
letter. That's true. It was 2020, bro. He doesn't have a post office.
He has a mailbox. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, why? It's just a wild journey to write music, because you do, in that sense, no one's gonna say, none of those guys are definitely not gonna say your idea is bad in the writer's room.
No, they will.
They will.
Very much so.
They will.
They are the most straight up. Yes. They're like, yeah, it's not great. And,
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, that's just not a muscle that us in the faith have, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had an idea recently. I had an idea when I first brought it to them, and they were like, they just all stared at me. And I was like, and then recently we got together and write again, and I felt like I'm going to pull that back out. I said it again.
Oh,
They're
the
like,
same one.
Same one. And they're like, that's insane. They're like, that's amazing. I was like,
I knew it, dude. Yeah. Oh, well.
You prayed about it beforehand. That's
Yeah.
what it
Yeah.
was. You're
Yeah,
like,
that's
put this
right.
on their heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go ahead of you. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Run it back.
Well, I guess it's a different, like, at the end of the day, it is a different motive. Like with the well, I don't know. Is there a difference between a worship song and a Christian song?
Nice.
ooh. That's a great question. I don't know about that. I just know I can tell you where I'm coming from my songs in a worship song, and that is, again, it is unique in the sense of a worship song should completely point you to. I mean, it's obvious, but it should point you to worship to God, and it's not a story song. It's not about. Oh, I want to tell you a story about this or what's going on in my life. But there are. I'll say there's. And when it comes to worship, there's really two kinds of songs that I see, and this is getting a little bit diving deep, but. I always say, because I look at the scriptures, right? And there's songs of transcendence and songs of deliverance. And what I mean by that is most of our songs, Amazing Grace would be a song of deliverance. Like, He saved a wretch like me. I need you. Lord, I need you. I'm longing for you. I need you. A lot of the Psalms are that. David wrote, I'm in a tough place. Lord, I'm crying out to you. But then there's those songs of transcendence, which are the holy, holy, holies, those songs that are just completely other. That's the biggest distinctive of a worship song above all of the music. It's those songs, because they take you to a place of like, there's nothing about me. There's nothing about any of us in this.
Yeah.
This is about something so much greater and pointing us to something so much greater. I mean, pop doesn't do that. Hip hop doesn't do that. Country doesn't do that. Even Christian music doesn't do that. But worship in those kind of songs.
Like what kind of songs?
Holy, holy, holy.
Yeah, that is Lord God Almighty, that one.
You
That
are.
is just,
when I think about
it's nothing about your
my
personal
experience.
struggles.
It's not
or
about our
anything.
experience.
Yeah,
It's just like
in awe of it's worship.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
When I wrote "How Great Is Our God," right? That's just about there's him.
I got you.
Latest song,
Yeah.
"Holy Forever." That touches. There's something about it that touches that kind of what I call the eternal song of praise. That the scripture says that there in Revelation it says that there's a never-ending song, which is amazing. It says that day and night they never stop singing, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come." That is so when you kind of touch into that, I know it's super spiritual, but like when you're touching into that kind of song of the people singing and around the of people singing it and connecting in that way, that's a distinctive marker
I got you.
among
Yeah.
any music,
Right.
And that's what I'm always trying to strive for in songs, and is helping people connect in that way. Because I have found those songs, they change the room every time. There's something about those songs where people they just engage in a different way because you're like collectively going, okay, I'm reminded of the greater story I'm in. I'm in a bigger story. This is a small kingdom here.
Yeah.
I'm in a small kingdom down here. In my little small kingdom,
bigger
in my
one,
small world, there's a bigger one going on, and it's pointing people to that.
I feel like when I hear you say that, I feel like a lot of people our age, I'm 41, Alex is younger than me, but like there's a lot of people that are disgruntled by the faith, or maybe like this pastor has a private jet, or all the common complaints we hear all the time.
Yeah.
And then I feel like you hear one of those and you go, gosh, I can't put it down. I can't. Everybody, like I talk about this all the time at the comedy club. You go to the comedy club, open mic night tonight, there's 20 comedians. 18 of them will have a joke about Jesus. Not in support.
Right.
But it's like we all grew up this way, and maybe your pastor embezzled money, or you needed $85 million for a church, or whatever that kind of sends people in it. But then, like, I feel like all the comics, like, there's no jokes about Buddha. I feel like all of us can't really lay our heads down and be like, or throwing all that out. Does that make sense? And then you 100%. Go, and then you hear like,
100%.
Go. You either walk past a funeral, or there's and you go, oh yeah, and you're reminded of those, whatever that feeling is, and you go, there got to be something to that. There's got to be something to that.
100%.
Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense.
And you go, you just can't. Like, I feel like a lot of people that grew up in the faith, can't put it to rest. Meaning, like, I want to leave. I'm so mad at my parents. I'm mad at the culture. I'm mad at numerous things that are all valid. But you go, all right, well then throw it all out then. They're just like, yeah, but I think it's true. Or, they're not saying that out loud. I'm verbalizing what they go.
Jesus is there's consequence, right? He is the most important figure that's ever walked the earth, and you have to wrestle with that, and everybody has to at some point.
You have to do something with that.
They have to deal with that. You can't say, well, I'm not going to make a judgment on that, because it's impossible.
Yeah.
You're making a judgment one way or the other, and and you have to come to terms with that. And that's and there's those moments where when you're just reminded of that we're in a greater kingdom. We're part of a greater story. And I've got, interestingly, man, you say that, and I have a song on this album that is probably most surprised song that I've ever, probably surprise title that would ever come from me. Okay. And it's called "Help My Unbelief." And when you think of my songs, it's "How Great Is Our God," "Holy Forever," "We Fall Down," "Good Father." These things that are like, I'm pushing people to God. And then a title like this, "Help My Unbelief," and and people might see that and go, "Oh no, what's happened to Chris?" But
we lost him. We lost him.
Man, I thought he was there. But it's this incredible.
Did Tyler Hubbard write this?
Yes.
I'm just joking. Hey. He's our buddy. He's been in here before. Tyler's been in here.
He's
before.
one of my best friends. And "Help My Unbelief," and it comes from this incredible passage that I think what kind of speaks to what you're talking about. a little bit in the sense of, and I'll just say it briefly that because people, I think this will mean something to people because this is in the Bible. This is what's amazing is you hear this song, you're like, wow, what's that? What are we trying to say? There's this dad whose son needs healing.
Yeah.
And he gets in front of Jesus and finds Jesus is coming to his town, and he will do anything to get in front of Jesus. His son is in a bad place, and he comes and he says, Jesus, would you have mercy on us? And if you can, would you heal my son? And Jesus says this, what do you mean if I can? All things are possible for those who believe, which is the bumper sticker, right? Let's be honest. That's the thing we put on the back of our car.
That should be the title.
All things are possible for that's the song you'd think I'd write.
Yeah.
And then the dad says this, I do believe, but help my unbelief. And who hasn't been there in the struggle of life,
Powerful.
In the struggle of life, and what I love is that Jesus didn't go, well, you don't 100% believe, so I'm moving on to the next kid.
Oh, you don't believe I'm next? Yeah, he said, help me.
And Jesus heals that child, and I think that there's something powerful about that because there's a hope in that's where all of us are. I always say if you haven't been there, you haven't lived long enough because life is hard, it's unfair, it comes at you in hard ways, and you'll find yourself there. But that's why a song like that is so powerful. And it ends with I end the song with "It is well, it is well with my soul." But and because I think that's the best hymn ever written with Amazing Grace. It is well, but the story of that, even that hymn, comes from it's the most unbelievable story of a song ever written, and it comes from it comes from that place that of a hard place of unbelief in the midst of just this questioning in the midst of great pain. And
it's such a simple prayer. Help me with my unbelief. It's like he's like, I'm doing my best here. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, and it reminds me,
timeless.
It reminds me, the scripture says, when you're weak, God is strong. In your weakness, God's strength is perfect. Not when you're strong, He's strong. It's like when you are weak, then His strength is perfect. Yeah. And that's what that's saying. Lord, I believe, but I do believe, but there's some struggle in me right now, and I just gotta. And I just love that.
Yeah,
that's not just a nice little lyric, but that's right from God's word.
Yeah. Well, the best in that, the best worship set you could be a part of is in essence you being out of the way.
100%.
Right.
100%.
That would be the goal.
That is the goal.
Yeah. So it's tricky if you like your face is on the billboard. You're like, yeah, but I'm trying to send you over there.
Bro, I wrote that on the back to the Crist and Friends record when we said let's get together and write this. The first idea I had is like this is the song I want to write with you guys, and it's called "Be the Moon" because I was at one of these interviews, not you, thankfully, but one of these interviews. This lady was trying to passive aggressive at me, and she said, you talk about God, you're trying to lead people to God. It seems, but like the lights are on you. You're on a stage. People want pictures of you. You sign things. That's kind of weird. You're signing things, and then you're telling them about God, but then you're signing their shirts, and that's kind of weird, isn't it? And I said, I guess it is, but I said, my job is just to be the moon. I don't know. I think God is a download from heaven. I was like, because the moon has no light on its own, but it just reflects a greater light. And I was like, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
she goes, well, we're about out of time.
I was like that.
I don't have any comeback for that.
Yeah.
Good point.
It just came from heaven because I was like, I felt kind of cornered in, but that's the truth, man. And that's our place here on this earth is I don't have any light of myself, but I'm hopefully, and it's funny when you think about the moon, some days it's a full moon, some days it's barely a sliver, some days it's behind the clouds, right? But the moon it's a great example of what it needs when Jesus said, "You're the light of the world," and obviously we're reflecting His light, hopefully, to this world. And man, I know you feel it. I know everybody senses it right now, but there is an insane an insane difference of light and darkness right now, and
Yep.
it is everywhere I go, man. Every Uber driver I talk to when I'm on the road on tour, I'm just like in an Uber, and I just like, hey, how you doing? And they're just like, and
Yeah.
it's just real, and it feels like no more. We're not playing games anymore right now, and it's anyway. That's I didn't mean to get off on that, but that's
Well, I like
thing.
that it is. You just like we talked about this on the pod last week. We've talked about Charlie Kirk in at length, and we said, well, what is our which kind of we go, what is our battle? Is it Republicans versus Democrats? Well, it can't be that, because there's a lot of people on the right that are wild and a lot of people on the left that are wild. It can't be that. Well, is it Christian versus non-Christian? We're like, well, there's Christians protesting military funerals and pastors. You're like, it can't be that. Mm-hmm. The more I talk, it's just evil, and then the more you try to explain it or put a motivation around it, it's just evil.
Yeah,
and it's very present, in front of everybody, and you do hear in the face of all that, you see like the message of Jesus was always, are you the way? And he's like, well, a seed falls by the river, and you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was very like almost like you're walking by a Christian bookstore and you hear one of those and you go, gosh, it's just like kind of calling to you, you know what I'm saying? But you go, that's the good side. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I had the opportunity to play at that memorial. I was asked to come play. They opened the whole morning, and Erica reached out to our team and said, one of Charlie's favorite songs, "How Great Is Our God," would I come lead it? And I'm like, how can I not? And how can I not do that? And to stand there and to sing those words, and to sing a song, "Holy Forever," which says, "All thrones and dominions, all powers and positions, your name stands above them all." And I'm literally, in front of me are all the powers and positions of this earth, of our nation and on this earth, are standing in front of me, including Elon over here, and the Secretary of State, and the Vice President, and RFK, and then Trump's in the up in the, and I'm just like, and to say all powers and positions, your name stands above them all. It was quite like there was a lot of clarity for me. I've never had that moment in my life, of standing before the powers and positions of this earth and declaring, and it was beautiful because they were declaring it as well. Not all of them, but a lot of them, and some of them were, and it was so powerful. But yeah, I mean, it's, you go back to that thing you said earlier about people are like
wrestling with
it, and
everybody.
they have to connect.
Everybody.
And man, it made me think just when we were talking, is the question of all questions, when Jesus said to his followers, he took them to this place called Caesarea Philippi. He took his boys out there, and he said, and this was the place also in that time was called Pan, which means many gods, and it was the place where all of the statues of all the different gods were kind of put up, and it was like this place of all the different gods, and it was in that place where he looked at them and he said, "Who do the people say that I am?" And they were like, "Oh, some say you're this, and some say you're this, and some say you're this." And then he looked at them and said, "Who do you say?
You think I am?
Who do you think I am?" That's the question of all questions, right? That is the question of all questions of life, and that's what people and me myself have to wrestle with daily. And everybody, and who do you say that I am? And because that's the question.
And if you are, back to the show at Bristol, it's your favorite driver is about to be introduced. There's a kid with a mullet over here, and then there's so many things going on, and then it does. I always said this about the church that I grew up in. I was like, it was the college ministry. Sometimes we would go in there to meet girls, and then there was like they had food there, and there was like, however, or your buddy was driving, and you're like, I guess I'll go with him, and then you got there, And you did have to confront the Holy Spirit.
You did.
Every time. And so like it might not be at Bristol outside with a bunch of things going on in a bouncy castle over here. It might not be but you still do.
There's some point.
You still do.
Yeah.
And that's what's beautiful about it. It's like sometimes it is so like I would imagine somebody at Bridgestone Arena that's like working at the concession stand and they're like doing the popcorn and they go, gosh, like
yeah,
something about, you don't have to confront anything if at another type of concert sometimes. You're just like, oh, it's just entertainment. I understand what the exchange is. They're paying $35 for the songs they heard on the radio. There is something that if it's done well, that you go, gosh, I need, and it's not, and it's confusing to someone because if someone was working the concession stand, they would think if they weren't a believer that they needed to meet you.
Right.
And you're like, no, it's not. You can feel this on Sunday morning a lot of places. That's what's beautiful about it. What's beautiful. And it doesn't also end with you.
No, exactly. And
it didn't start with you either.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. That's what's so beautiful about this music. And that's what I always pray, that God's presence would touch people when they hear the music, that they don't even know that. I haven't created any new instruments, and I have not. There's only 12 notes on the scale. And
same chords.
I'm using the same chords, but that the presence of God somehow, they would sense that and would touch the people, and they may not even know what that is. But that's what I always pray for. God, people have an encounter with God.
And then it's almost like if it is you're like, it is very disarming. You're like, this place is sold out, or this place we sold 3 tickets. Or we're like, it doesn't really. We'll fire someone at management, but on Monday.
I've done both of those. I have done both of those many times.
Well, you go, that's not really what we're here for.
Man, I have to remember that all the time, man. You saying that, truly.
So do I.
That's a big one for me. In my pride.
Yeah, it's nice at the Charlie Kirk's funerals, millions of people. You're like, I can obviously see I'm being used here.
Yeah.
As a help, Lord.
God does this to me, man. You're gonna love this. He does. It's unbelievable. This is God's way of. His little thing with me. My first time I got to play Madison Square Garden, and sold out, and I thought, I just be honest. Since we're on your podcast, I was like, I think I'm doing pretty well here. This is awesome.
What podcast can you not say that on?
Yeah. I'm amazing. I'm amazing. That's what I was feeling. That's what I was feeling.
Yeah.
I'm crushing it. The next concert.
Oh, no.
I kid you not. The next concert was 3 days later. Alabama, Rattlesnake Rodeo.
How many people?
It was maybe 100. Yeah. And they're out there and they've got rattlesnakes and they're naming the rattlesnakes. That's Charlie out there with that rattlesnake and this such. And I'm about to do a concert. I just played in New York City.
Rattlesnake Rodeo is great, dude.
That was the next. Anytime I've got somewhere, I'm like, this. I made it. The next concert is going to be. I'm going to.
And no disrespect to people in Alabama. No, they're great people.
Alabama, but like when you go from, it was Alabama Rattlesnake Radio. I was like, okay.
I think it's cool to think that like, just the omniscience of God in that, of where he knew that you were going to feel that when you got to the garden.
Yeah.
And so he made sure that next one was already routed for you.
It's routed.
He knew you'd get there, and he was like, don't worry, I got you on the back side of that.
Yeah, don't you worry.
You're good. Yeah, I'll bring you back down.
I'm like, guys, where are we going from here? Well, we're going to the Rattlesnake Rodeo.
We're flying private down there?
No, we're not.
Well, it is. When I did Winter Jam in 2018.
Okay.
And it was right. So Carrie and Cody led worship right after me in the set.
Yeah.
And we at the beginning they're like, how's this going to work? Comedy, and then you're leading worship, everybody. And then after about a month, I'll never forget this. Carrie came to me and she goes, I got to be honest with you, it is such a pleasure to lead worship after you. I go, why do you say that? She goes, all these kids from all these youth groups all over the 90 miles, none of them know each other. They're all different backgrounds, different outfits, different races, different education, different everything.
Yeah.
And what you have done has broken down all these walls. I've made fun of all the stuff in the city and the Christian stereotypes and, people from this city and that city, and
100%.
everybody is elbowing each other. Did you? And then you have like kind of open, it's like almost like, and then she goes, we can just
100%. It's nothing like laughing, man. That opens up, breaks down every wall. It's the it's the greatest gift. You don't know this, but when I was in college, I went to nationals in comedy speaking.
Oh, wow, that should be the start of this pod. When did we talk about that?
And there had a thing called it was called after dinner speaking. And it was all these different. You could do debate, you could do poetry, you could do things. It was a college course, and I chose. They said I said, what's after dinner speaking? It's like, well, it's just it's just comedy, but you got to do it in front of judges, and you do this thing. And so I'm not near what you can do, but there's something special about the walls that come down when people start laughing, man, and you get those people in that place, and what you do, and it's so special, man. I love it.
Did it go good for you?
What's that?
The comedy, the comedy.
Well,
when you did it, do you remember any of your jokes?
It was called Why America Loves Country Music. That was my skit.
Yeah.
And
this doesn't exist anywhere. No, it can't.
It doesn't. Thank God.
I just looked for it.
Yeah, we tried to find it.
I did a quick little.
No, it doesn't exist.
You made sure.
We scrape. We continue to scrape every day. If it comes up, scrape.
That doesn't exist.
But I would write little songs, and that were like I would just make up little country songs.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm literally 18 years old. So I was a freshman in college, junior college, Tyler Junior College, and
in Texas.
Yes. And so I just got my little songs, and my little gimmick was I'd lick my pick and I would just stick it on the guitar. It would just stick on the guitar while I'm talking. Yeah. And then anytime I was ready for this song, I'd just slide the pick off and just go and just I had this whole little thing, John.
You got to bring that back.
It was huge.
If I see a video of you doing that, I'll know. I go,
he's bringing it back.
If anybody sees that, you go, I know what to say.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. Well, okay, it is. Do you ever say any jokes on stage?
I tell stories of that are you wouldn't believe, of things that have happened to me in concerts. That can I tell you one?
You go for it.
Can I tell you one?
Yes, please.
So the craziest one I've ever happened is when my wife. It's my first anniversary. My wife she said, let's go somewhere warm. We got married in the winter. She's like, let's get somewhere warm. So it's your first anniversary. You want to do it right? So we're like, okay, let's go to Miami. And I was like, we've not really been to Miami much before, so do this, get to Miami. And I set all the hotel and everything. I try to get it right. And it is, when I say I've picked the wrong hotel, it is the wrong hotel. We get there and it's a convention going on, and we're the only people that don't have name tags. And it's like, I'm not doing this. It's my first anniversary. So it's like, babe, let's go to South Beach. I've always heard about South Beach. And I literally didn't. I was that naive. I was like, I heard it's fun. Let's go out there.
I know where this is going.
Let's find another room. So we go find this hotel, get on South Beach. It's been a long day of travel. Get out there and lay we lay the towels out on the beach, and I was not ready for what I was seeing. I mean, we had the most clothes on by a million miles, and we're just like, oh my gosh. I was like, wow, I wasn't ready for this, and everybody's just. I was like, wow, this is insane. We're people watching. Well, this guy comes up. He's this attendant, and he's got these waters, and he's got these waters like this, and he comes up, and he's looking all Miami. I mean, he is cool. He's ripped. He's tattooed. He's got his hair slicked back. He walks up, and my wife goes, she had said, we finally laid down, and she goes, well, at least, if you're looking around, she goes, at least nobody's going to know who you are here. And I'm like, that's true. And she's just kind of taking a little jab, Well, he comes up, and he's got his little thing. And he walks up with the waters, and he looks at me, and he goes, no way. You're Crist Tomlin. And he sits down in between us. On our towels. My wife's in bikini. I'm sitting there. He sits down and starts just pouring out his life. He's like, man, he goes, I can't believe this. Running into you here. He said, man, I came to Miami to do everything you could do, man. I've done everything. I got to the bottom of life. I've done every drug you can do. I came here to party and do all the things, and it's empty. I got to the bottom of my life. Somebody handed me one of your CDs. I pulled over on the side of the road and gave my life to Christ, listen to your music, and now you're sitting here in the South Beach. What in the world? And I'm just like, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And he gets up and he just walks off. And I was like, my wife and I was like, well, that's not what I thought was. That's amazing. I never thought that. South Beach, I'm laying there. Well, he comes back. And this time he's got some more waters. And he's got a Bluetooth speaker on his tray. And he sets it down. And at the edge of our towels.
Right.
and he just hits play on the Bluetooth, and it's my music, and it's when I say it's so loud, he's playing so loud, and he stands on the edge of the towels. We're laying down like this. He's standing above us on the edge of the towels, and he just starts. And I remember this. It was "Jesus Messiah" was the song. He just starts going for it. He's just like at the edge of the towels, just like singing, worshiping. And my wife and I are laying there. She's in her bathing suit, and she goes, and you know, ladies can do this. She can talk without moving her mouth. She's like, "What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?" And I was like, I think we're supposed to worship, babe. I think that's what we're doing. So we get up, and we're all three of us are now holding hands. And we're singing. I'm thinking, John, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking now everybody else is looking at us.
Yeah.
Now everybody's looking at us
attention.
because it's loud, and he's singing his heart out. And I'm thinking, if anybody else knows who I am, which they don't, but if anybody else did, they must be thinking, the ego of that guy. He brings his own music. He comes and brings
To
his own
South
music
Beach.
and makes people sing with him. Because I'm just like on South Beach, and
The
we're
guy-
just like,
Oh, he looked like he worked for you.
yes.
Yeah.
And we're just singing. Okay, he played 3 songs.
That's 3 songs too many. That's 3 songs too many of your songs.
That's 15 minutes,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It's just standing there.
You're like, yep, I know it. I know it.
My
Yeah.
songs. That's what he's singing. And I was just like, and he walked off, and he's like, man, this was awesome. I was like, this was amazing. And,
Unbelievable.
so if you're listening, brother, I love you, and you are
Yeah.
awesome.
The CD.
It's all right. Yeah.
I wonder how he tells the story.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he probably tells it different.
Yeah.
We'll get him on the pod next week.
Yeah.
It'd be so good.
What year was that?
That was 15 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
That
dude.
man grew up to be Brandon Lake.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It's crazy, man.
I've heard his
crazy.
story.
It's
Yeah, he's
crazy,
been
yeah.
here. We'll
Yeah,
say
yeah,
the story.
yeah.
It's amazing. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate
Shout
it.
out Brandon, dude. we knew we'd get circled
You
all the
said
way
hot
back.
tattooed.
Yeah.
I just assumed,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we talked about it already, but plug the album a little bit.
Oh, thank you, man. The album is called "The King Is Still the King,"
Yeah.
and yeah, if I would, I honestly, you know, a lot of things we talked about today. If I'd have put that album out last year, I think most of the people in my world would be like, "Oh, it's nice. Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
that." But it just feels like something a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more important, maybe a statement, and that's only God's timing. I mean, of putting this out at this moment in time.
Yeah.
And the King is still the King. That's it's a declaration of faith, right? It's more than just a title, and it's on my hat here. Everything you see around our world is this image of this crown, and it's the crown of thorns wrapped around the crown of the crown of the King of Kings. And I just feel like that tells the whole story in this little image of the King is still the King. And when Jesus was on this earth, he wore a crown of thorns. We know that. It was mocked. He was shamed. His blood was shed for us. And yet today he wears a crown of King of Kings. And the scripture says wears a crown of crowns, the King of Kings. And there's a song on the album that I get that title from, and the chorus, it just says this: "For the blood is still the blood, and the King is still the King." And that's the whole story. That's the crown of thorns wrapped around this crown. And so that's why you see everything you see of mine online. It's got this crown, and so kind of pointing people. The album is this thread. I've never had an album so intentional. I've always just put whatever best songs I can. This one has a real thread running through it of this king, of God as King, and the way it even is sequenced, and all little pieces of music throughout. I mean, I even went old school, found one of the early songs I used to lead called "You're My King, Amazing Love,"
Oh, yeah.
and just to bring that back into this idea of the King is still the King. And so I hope people enjoy it. You know, this is my 18th album, which is crazy. And,
My word.
And just grateful for that. And hopefully there's songs that really people connect to, the church connects to. And it's been beautiful already playing it a little bit live out there.
18 albums is not so many. If we had to elect, I'm gonna ask this: if you had to elect a Christian president, it'd probably be you. You think?
Yeah.
If we got to go, hey, in America, we got to get. They said we had to.
They said
Who do we nominate? I think it'd be
On the ballot for sure.
I'm on the ballot.
I'm definitely on the ballot.
it'd be
There's
on the
lots
ballot.
of lots of people. I'll be in the run for the primary. Okay.
Yeah. The primary.
Yeah.
Oh, the album's out currently.
Yes, it
The
is
album's out
out
currently.
It just came out, and the king is still the king.
And you're going on tour?
I'm on tour right now, and so it's really, really beautiful nights. I feel more charged than ever. I mean, I think it's been really, really insane. I think with all the kind of these awakening things in our country, and what you said, the evil, the realness of that, and the light and the darkness, and feeling those two things, those forces, right?
And you got to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do something. However you got in there, if your parents drug you, or if it's a coworker or a wife, or if you're a huge fan. If we're doing our job right, I think mine the same way.
Same way.
The comedies in the last 2 weeks has felt so powerful. And I talk about it a little bit at the end of the show. I go, we're joking here, but we're not joking. Or you know what I'm saying? You understand exactly what we're here for, and it's all these ideas that we are kind of satirizing or making fun of.
Yeah.
We, like I said, we're kind of attacking the same issues from a different angle.
Yes.
Yeah. It is very everybody, and I just saw that you were in Fort Wayne. I was probably there the same night. Maybe I was on the other side of town. Maybe I was the night after or before. But it is unique because you go to a city and you kind of live there, and you go, I don't know how everybody, like especially during COVID, you go, I don't know how everybody, and then you all come together.
Yeah.
It's just we talk about it here on the pod all the time. Everybody from Nashville on Thursday night or Wednesday night goes out in these buses. And it's Christian, there's comedians, there's country artists, there's folk, there's everybody.
There's rock, everything.
And then at times it has felt like going out in wartime, when the bands would go out. There's people who are depressed and sad and unemployed, and they're lost their jobs, their marriages, and we all go out there and encourage them. We obviously with the light of Christ or with comedy, and then we all kind of on Sunday night or Monday morning, you see them all coming back, and it's a very, very noble purpose to give your life to.
It is, and I just want to say just quickly, love what you're doing, love that, obviously the influence you've got with this, and then just using your voice and how God's just elevated you to be somebody people looking to, and to point them to that light. I mean, I just feel like it's more than ever. Gosh.
I think we started this podcast in 2021 because I feel like kids are coming up and believing these ideas from the internet. I go, that's bad. That's bad information, whether it's about your identity or even something similar. Like just all these, everything they hear is I disagree with. Mm-hmm. And we go, well, I would like to add a voice on whatever side this is to be like, this is, I do not feel that this is correct.
Love that.
And then I said, with it's wild.
That takes guts, man.
Yeah, with Charlie Kirk, we posted a lot about it because I go, hey, I'm on this side. Like I know there's you get a lot of pushback on the internet or a lot of I get to say my side too. And I am firmly and strong more than ever on this side. And you go, well, if everybody gets to add theirs, and if you're on the other side, add yours. And then we'll discuss it. And I don't like the idea that only these voices can be heard.
That's right.
Yeah,
well, it takes guts to do that.
Thank you, brother.
Well done.
It's an honor to share a conversation with you, brother.
Yeah.
We'll play me and Toby will play some golf soon.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I will be the worst of those.
Sure, thank you, brothers. Honor to have you.
But on the net, it was a positive. It was a positive. You cannot be serious. On the net, it's a positive.